Hello, everybody. Igup here. I've got some exciting news to share. If you haven't heard, yesterday at Gamescon, Blizzard released quite a bit of information that I personally find very exciting, as I'm sure that most of you will as well. Yesterday, Blizzard announced that patch 7.1 is going to feature Karazhan. So this isn't just the normal run-of-the-mill, Burning Crusade Karazhan raid that you and I may have known for the last many years. This is a brand new five-man Karazhan raid. And it sounds like they did say that this was a large five-man dungeon, not a raid, rather, a dungeon. So this sounds like this might be a hidden underground portion of Karazhan that we've been hearing about in rumors for many years. It may be, many different things. We're not quite sure yet what exactly it is going to be, but we do know that it's going to be at least 9 bosses. So that's something that's really to be, looked forward to. Is exciting news, and I, for one, am looking very much forward to it. I've been running Karazhan, heck, since Burning Crusade. So my involvement in here goes back to the 2008 time frame, and to this day, what is that? 8 years later, Karazhan remains my very favorite raid. I've always loved this place. This wasn't my first experience with raiding, but was pretty darn close, and it was certainly raid where I had the most involvement in up to that particular point in time. So I was a young feral back in those days, and ferals could tank and DPS, and I was my guild's main tank, and tanked this from beginning to end. So I have a lot of very good memories and had a lot of good times here, and I just had to. I took yesterday's news, and I was just like a kid in a candy store. I was that very young 5 or 6 year old child on Christmas morning that just can't wait to wake up and go look at the toys that are underneath the tree. That's how I think about Karazhan, and the thought of not only coming back in here, um, but doing it in all new content. So exciting stuff, and I just can't wait. So at any rate, but even beyond that, there's actually the more exciting information that Blizzard shared with all of us yesterday during Gamescom interview, was the fact that they finally really sound like they get it. Um, and by get it, I mean the pervasive issues that we've had in not only the last, well, really the last two expansions, but even going back further than that. So, and what I'm talking about are the long content routes, and then most especially the final, year plus long, tier before, in between the last raid tier and the next expansion. Those just kill it. They kill it not only for the players that have loyally been playing WoW for the last many years, but for even relatively new players, and for prospective players. There's no new content for them to come in and really experience and have fun with, because the people that are here playing are burned out and they're tired of running that content. So the experience for new players to come in during those periods at the end of the expansion is something to be desired. So yesterday they made a lot of noise, and I understand that they have a lot to prove. Saying it isn't enough. They have to prove it, and they absolutely say that they understand that, they know that. But this is really the first time where we're on a consistent basis hearing that they get it, that they have the responsibility to carry forward and bring new content, no new or no long content, droughts like we've been seeing. And what's more is they really sound like they get it. I mean, not just saying it, but they sound like they actually get it. And to me, that's it's a little nuanced, but that's slightly different than I think what we've been seeing in the in the forums for the last year or two. Two expansions. Um, it's really exciting stuff. So at any rate, they say quote unquote, it's priority one is making sure that you don't run out of things to do. Uh, if they can actually carry forward with that, and as they say, they don't want a tier to be more than 4 to 5 months. That's a new direction. That's a revitalized design concept for this game. It's something that they simply haven't done in well, I don't know that they've ever done that, but if they do that, or I can't remember them actually bringing out tiers on a regular, consistent basis like that. Maybe once or twice, but not consistently. But if they can actually pull that off, if they mean that, actually pull that off, that's a huge deal. That and the fact that they truly, do now seem to get that players are bored and that boredom kills this game. If they really truly get that, that's huge news. And furthermore, that's something that we should be excited about. Not only be excited about it, but very supportive of, and just kind of applaud Blizzard for finally, kind of letting go of whatever it was that was, holding them back all these years from really carrying forward with the design concepts and support to this game that I think that the player base has truly wanted all this time. So, I've been somebody that has been fairly critical, maybe more than fairly. I've been very critical of Blizzard, their decision-making processes specifically, but I've been very critical of Blizzard for a number of years, even though I truly love this game. Been very, very critical of them. But in these instances where I think that they're deserving of, deserving of our, our support and, I won't say adoration, but, it's kind of how I feel, close to adoration, because remember, I'm a kid in a candy store right now. I think that we really have to give that to them on those occasions, and well, I'm giving it to them because I can't help but get on board the hype train right now. I'm that excited, and I hope that kind of comes through in my voice. Call me a fanboy or whatever, but damn it, I love this game, and I've been playing this game for. Well, I started playing this game since March 2005, so not right at the. That was about four years after, um, after the game was released. I've been here pretty much from the beginning, and it's been such a large part of my life. I've loved this game from day one, um, and I'm glad that they seem to be getting it back on track. Now, what else did they put out yesterday? Well, I think that was pretty much the long and short of it. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be things that we can't continue to be critical about. I think that even though I very strongly that uh, believe very strongly that Legion is going to be a very good expansion. I still think that there are things that we could be critical about with regard to the expansions, like World Quests and the questing in Suramar. But however, one of the other things that they did put out yesterday was about Suramar, that they do have plans for additional quests and whatnot in Suramar in between those content patches. So that should help, I think, alleviate some of the issues that I foresee with Suramar. I do think that there's some opportunity for Suramar and WorldQuest to feel a little bit like a job and a little bit grindy. However, if they're keeping it free, these pieces of the game, if they're keeping them feeling fresh and new, I don't think players will mind so much about a little grindiness here and there, as long as they're not doing the same grindiness stuff for 6 months to a year. If there's new grindy parts, every 3, 4, 5 months, I think that players by and large will be just fine with that. I certainly would be. Because I've been playing in the beta now for a couple months, so I'm relatively new with regard to the beta, and I really, really like everything else that I see in there. Like I said, I just have a few misgivings about world quests and about Suramar questing because I think that they ultimately maybe feel a little bit grindy, but keep them fresh, and I guess I won't have those problems. Everything else, I leveled up, a handful of tunes, paid a lot of attention to a lot of the game design, put a lot of thought into, okay, what is my day-to-day experience going to be in Legion, and I really like what I came up with. I'm really excited about this expansion, and I don't really want to come right out and say I think this is going to be the best expansion since whatever, um, but it just might be. There's a lot of people that are saying that, and I will go so far as to say that it certainly has the opportunity to rank right up there as one of the best of the expansions. So that's as much as I think I'm willing, really willing to kind of say about the expansion. I don't really like to say, and particularly before an expansion is even officially launched, I don't like to say something that, hey, this is going to be the best expansion, because how are you going to know? You have no way of knowing really before the expansion goes live any such thing, and I think it's kind of foolish for anybody to say something like that. But Legion to me looks like it's definitely going in the right direction. Blizzard very clearly put a lot of thought into the expansion, and put a lot of thought into the happiness of the players, and they deserve a lot of credit for that. And I'm seriously looking forward to Legion. And so I took all the announcements yesterday to heart, and I just can't wait. Come on, can we please start Legion early? Can we do that? Of course they would do that for me, but I'm going to ask anyway. Please get that done, Blizzard. At any rate, so I just had to come in here. I ran this last night in another tune, but I had to come back into Karazhan because I'm so excited about Karazhan. I just had to come back in here and had to run this because it's actually been a while since I've run this, and it was kind of a fun thing last night to do, and wanted to come back in here tonight while I was talking to you about my excitement and just kind of run this again. And here I am at the chess event. This was always actually one of my favorite events. 11, 12 years, almost 12 years of playing this game, and the chess event is one of my favorite events of all time because it's so unique. There's no other event like this in any raid, certainly that I can recall. It's anywhere like this. So, I always had a lot of fun playing this event, and I still kind of like coming in here and doing what I got to do to beat Medivh because he's a cheating bastard. So you would think after playing this chess event for a number of years that I would actually beat this event 100% of the time, every time I come in here, right? There wouldn't be any problems, but you would be wrong. So you may have noticed that the video kind of jumps here. I did go on to fail this event on the previous attempt, and I started it over. So here I am. This event actually isn't all that difficult. There's a little bit of RNG involved with it. Not too bad. There's probably a way of winning this 100% of the time, but I couldn't be too. I just can't be bothered to look all that up. For 7, 8, 9 times out of 10, I win this chess event without any problems whatsoever. And on that one or two occasions where I end up having issues like I did on that previous attempt, I don't worry about it too much. Just come back in here, restart it, and you're right back in it. Now, it's 3-on-1 right now, as you can see. You think, oh man, he's going to fail again. But you'd be wrong. Don't worry about it. Things are not nearly so bad as they seem. So, just like Varian in the Broken Shore, here I am, the King of Stormwind. Lane, King Lane, and I lay it down like a boss. Unlike the war chief of the Horde, who didn't come off, so well during the Broken Shore scenario, or or the Horde for that matter, who came off looking like cowards. But that's a story for another video, so we'll just leave that for later. At any rate, if you get things begin to look dire during this chess event, don't stress about it. Things aren't always as bad as they might otherwise appear. You can almost always pull things out, and you'll see as this video unfolds that I actually didn't have too many problems at all, pulling a win out here. So at any rate, like I was saying earlier, I have just always loved this chess event. It's so unique. It, among all the boss encounters that I've ever done or that has ever been in the World of Warcraft, this is the one encounter that is truly unique from everything else, and it's just such a pleasure. I mean, to play even all these years later. I enjoy whenever I come through here. I enjoy this, whereas some people have complained about it, that it's really difficult to solo. No, it's really not. You just have to keep a few principles in mind, and then it really doesn't give you any problems at all. Yes, there is some RNG involved here, but there's RNG involved in a lot of boss fights. Well, all boss fights. Maybe there's a little more RNG involved than normal here, but nothing that's insurmountable. And like I said, if you end up failing, it's only a few minutes. You simply reset the encounter and get right back to it. So here you go. I was 3-on-1. Simply moved a couple spaces, kept up my buff that allowed the rest of my chess team to do extra damage, and voila, there's only a couple players, enemy players left on the board, and as you can see, I'm laying it down like a boss, just like Varian did at the Broken Shore. So unfortunately, I don't get anything good out of out of this. There isn't really anything left in Karazhan that I need. I've got all the cool transmog stuff, and I've got the mount. But damn, it's sure good to come back in here and just have a pleasant walk through the place and have fun at this chess event again.